Keep it up one more minute. Keep it up, you're so great. Standing, talking, you got me checkmate. No one's watching or nothing. I have cleared out the room, also that you can get to be the big spoon. Ooh, cut on me blue. Take me to the edges of you. Ooh, ooh. Cut through every little inch of my skin. Baby, I will let you in. Ooh, ooh.
Hey everyone, how are you? Checking our sound. Awesome. Welcome to Thursday's class. We're working through a format called Healthy Backs today. So we're gonna do a lot of seated work, and this is specifically for those of you who are just interested in a format that is a bit more therapeutic in nature, meaning that we're gonna take it at a little slower pace. We're still gonna work, but we're also gonna do it with support. Of course, if at any point in time you'd rather stand or sit on your own seat on the mat, you can do that. You can also sit on your rebounder. I've got a set of 5-pound weights, a set of 10-pound weights, and then 15s. And that's just for some of the weighted exercises we're gonna do. I'm gonna pull them all the way over. Good morning, Tracy, good to see you here. And if for some reason you're watching the replay, thank you for being here as well. This class, we switched the time. So we're a little earlier today because we got a steady docket of things happening. So to begin, let us have a seat. We're gonna begin with some breath work. So I'd like you to find your place on your chair, wherever that is for you, that allows you to just arrive. And if you need the extra support, please take it. Move yourself back to the back of the chair. But if not, just sit up on your own structure right now. Hands onto the knees, and let's just roll the shoulders up and then all the way back. Good. And we're gonna do this 4 times. Just getting nice and warm. You can see that the jungle is getting a little wild in the space. Everybody's blooming and blossoming, which is awesome. Let's do one more time. Good, all the way down, and then let's reverse. So back to front. Just making those big, juicy circles. Trying to find the range of motion and evening it out front to back. So whether you've slept a certain way or you've been typing on the computer all week or clicking on the phone or working with a child or pets or whatever it is, anything that's kind of occupational, we just want to take this moment to just see what we can see in terms of balance. Let's release, give your spine a few shakes here, and then we're going to let our arms drop down to the side, and I want you to just round them. They don't have to be super balletic stylized, but just let them have a round shape, almost as if you had like a parentheses on either side of yourself. We're going to take some breathing. So the exercise is to pull some air into your lungs, and as you inhale, you're going to imagine that the air just floats your arms out to the side. And as you exhale, you're going to allow your arms to come back into center as your lungs empty. Now here's the thing, we want to use this principle of isometric resistance. So as we're moving out, we're gonna imagine we're pressing through a solid substance. And as we're moving in, we're gonna imagine that we've got resistance that we're pushing into. So we start to warm up our arms and upper back, all right? So we'll start with just simple 1 breath. We're gonna breathe in, opening the arms out a little, and breathe out. Try in through the nose and out through the mouth. All the way out. Let's do twice more like this. 1 more. And exhale. This time we're gonna try 2 inhalations. So we'll go in a little more, out all the way. Breathe in a little more, breathe out all the way. Let's try it together. So in, One more. And then we're gonna try to up it to 3s, okay? Let's go 3. In 1, in 2, in 3, out 1, 2, 3, and one more. Our last one is 4s. Here we go. Breathe in, 2, 3, and all the way 4, and then breathe out. Press 2, 3, 4, and then breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3. Keep going. Here we go. Now we're going to breathe in smoothly, 1 to 4, 4 to 1, 1 to 4, 4 to 1, 1 to 4. Last time. And all the way out, good. And that's why we're seated. If you feel a little lightheaded, take a moment, take some shallower breaths. Why do we start the class with breathing? Because breathing is one of the best ways to create circulation in your body and also give some stimulation to the little bones and muscles, well, the muscles that move the bones around your rib cage, around your spine, all around your back. So hopefully you feel a little more energized. And now you get to go ahead and move towards the back of your chair if you have one. I'm gonna just nestle so my seat's kind of poking through the chair, hands on the knees, and then we're gonna lean back and just think about back bending over the top of the chair and then come back to center. And again, think of lifting and leaning back as much as you can. Of course, we're being careful. We're not falling. We're not pushing our weight back into the chair. We're keeping our weight on our hips. And we're just lifting our back up and over the edge of the chair, coming back to center. Good. Let's go 2 more. Lifting up, reaching back, and all the way forward. Yes. Last one. Up. Good. And reach. All right. Let's take one arm to the back of your chair, the other arm over to your outside of your knee, and just take a really gentle twist. See what's there for you. Release, going to the other side. Reaching around. You're just kind of seeing what the range of motion is. Let's come back to the first side. I'm not really pushing. I'm kind of using my hands to support me. Good, and then one more. Good, and then coming back to center. I'm gonna turn back around to face you for a moment. All right, so from here, side bend, reaching your right arm down, reaching towards the ground, and then building it all the way back up. So we're getting through all of our spinal mechanics. We've rounded our back, we've arched our back, we've twisted our back. We're side bending. We want to make sure we know all of the ways that we can move, yeah? Reaching forward, or sideward, and coming all the way up, and then going in the other direction. Coming all the way up. This time, let's go all the way over to your right, and then take your left hand over to your right knee and just round a little bit. See if you can get a stretch through this kind of wide part of your back, breathing into those ribs, breathing into the width of your back. Lots of breath work for healthy backs. Let's open it back up to the side bend. Come all the way back to center, going over to the other side. Little side bend here, reach your opposite hand across and just let your back round. You can feel the sort of stretch you want and need here. If you breathe into the ribs on the side that you're reaching with, and sometimes open up a little bit. Good, release. Come to your side bend, come all the way back to center. Let's get right to the front of our chair once again, making sure I'm still in your frame here, always moving about. And we're just gonna start heeling forward. So our goal here is just to build a little heat. We're gonna call this cardio. Whether or not it gets our heart rate up a ton, it's not super important. Right now, it's all about us just reaching through the heel, tapping forward, starting to get our hips warmed up, yeah? Keep your arms hanging down by the side. And let's just take a little palm forward. We're gonna bicep curl with no weight as we heel that heel forward. As we heel that heel forward. Good. Yeah, so there's like this, you know, in fitness, this misnomer that it has to look and feel a certain way, but movement is movement. And if you need to do it with a little more support, I always find the seated classes are like uber challenging, just because we're trying to help ourselves sit tall the whole time, yeah? Good. We go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now from here, we're gonna lift our heels as we lift our hands, press our heels down as we reach overhead, pull them back to that bicep curl, lower. So every time you move your hands, you lift your heels, and then you lower, and then you lift, and then you lower down. We're gonna do it 2 more times slow. Fold in the elbows, lift the heels. Press the heels down as you reach. Lift the heels up as you lower. Press them down. Fold at your elbows. Push down to lift up. Pull it in. All the way down. All right, let's take it up a notch. We go up to reach and in and down. Really press those heels to the ground. Get a little action in the lower leg. Good. And reach and lower. Let me have 4 more like this. Getting warmed up in those shoulders. 3. Good. 2. You got it. Last one. Hold your arms up there, pull them out all the way down and reach and pull. A little lat work, opening up your chest, your heels are down, shoulders dropping away from your ears, elbows pulling into your side pockets. Maybe your like high-waisted side pockets is a little more accurate. Good. And pull, reach and pull. Stretch, stretch. Give me 4 more. 3, 2, and then land in goal post arms. I know your shoulders are starting to get warm. We're gonna take our palms, rotate them forward as we close our elbows and forearms as close as possible. And then we're gonna open our arms to those goal posts, turn your palms away, and then reach those elbows back as far as possible, stretching open your chest and your shoulders. So a little rotation of the forearms to come in, and then rotation of the forearms to press back. Roll them in. Good. And understandably, for those of us who have body part considerations on the front part of our body, just put your elbows wherever you need them to be, yeah? And if it ends up being that your pinkies touch and your elbows don't, that's okay. Just working with the sensation of bringing them together. It's not important that they touch, it's important that we try to reach towards midline, okay? Good, 1 more time. Other shoulders, reaching it in. Good. And release, and let them come down. Shake them out for a second. We're gonna take a side bend over to the right, reach it over. Taking your hand onto the knee again. See how that stretch feels for your back. Let's unroll back to the side bend and come all the way to center. Reach it over to the other side. Rotate. Good morning, Colleen. I love when I come over to this side. Let's come to the side and come all the way up. I love when I peek over and there's a new member joining up. All right, so we gave our shoulders a little rest. We're gonna come back to this goal post. We're gonna make a circle of sorts. Pull your forearms together, palms face each other, sit nice and tall, and shoot your arms up to the sky. Your elbows will come apart. As you come up to the top, you're gonna turn your palms away, and like you're doing kind of a swan dive, press down to lift up and lower your arms to the ground. Turn your palms forward. You go through that bicep curl now. We're gonna reach through. Swan dive press. I don't know if this is a swan dive. You know what I mean though. Kind of like a Little Mermaid flash dance moment. Reach and press all the way down. Good. Pull it through. Reach, lift your chest and press. All about getting length in the back of the body. Up. Reach, palms turn away and press. Okay, now we're gonna stay here and reverse it. So we go all the way forward. Palms turns toward. This time we're gonna round down as we come through and then reach all the way up, sitting tall. Turn the palms in, round down, release the arms. Stretch up, bring your hands together. Elbows come down, just stretching your upper back, good. And lift, palms around your upper back and release. All right, one more little stretchy aspect here. We're gonna work through the hinging of the hips. Yeah, good. I hope, let me know how it's going too and how it's feeling. We'll definitely get some more stretches in as we go through. Right now, we're gonna take a little hip hinge. It's reminiscent of a sun salutation. And I just mentioned that because you'll notice it's reminiscent of a sun salutation. So we're doing a seated one. We're gonna reach our arms all the way up overhead, keeping a flat back, dive forward over your legs and bring yourself as far as you can. And then as you come down, if you can reach the ground, if you wanna round your back, that feels good. Excellent. Then from here, we're gonna lift the chest and then dive our arms outward, reaching all the way up and returning to center. So the spine and the back from the side. We're gonna lift our arms up, creating length in our spine. Fold in the hips to reach forward, bringing our arms to the ground, just taking a moment for a stretch here. And then we're gonna reverse that. Shoot your arms out to the side as you lift your chest, reaching all the way up, and then come back to center to find your vertical position. Let's do that a couple times. So we reach all the way up, grow taller, then keep that length as you dive forward all the way. Take a breath here, inhale, and then exhale and start to reach your arms out, start to lift your chest, start to back bend up as much as you can, and then lower down. And we go again. Reach out wider all the way up. Dive forward, hinge. Let it go, breathe. And then stretch those arms out to the side. Lifting all the way up. Coming back to center, palms face forward, heart open. One more time, here we go. Lift and dive. Reaching all the way over, release. And then shoot those arms out to the side. Come all the way up to the top and lower, good. Wide stance with your legs here, still perched on the end. We're gonna take our left hand to our right knee, and we're gonna just take a little twist looking up towards the right side. So you can use your opposite hand on the chair. We're just gonna keep it real simple right now. Good, coming back to center, cross over, reach to the other side of the chair, kind of dropping my elbow down. I'm resisting through the leg that I'm holding onto. So I'm pressing that leg back as I'm gonna pull forward. Come all the way up. The stretch often happens right around or underneath your shoulder blades. It's like a sneaky one. So let's try it again. Turn yourself, pull your elbow down, find that stretch between your shoulder blades. It really is like I didn't know it was so tight there. Good, come on back to center. Rotate in the opposite direction and reach it down. Good, and then come all the way back to center. Okay, so we're just gonna step out and in. I'm gonna move that weight out of the way. So we go right and left, right and left. I want you to keep those hips facing forward. We're working a little abduction, moving the legs away from midline. So just see if we can manage this. You can always hold on to your chair if you need a little bit more. Yep. You can have your hands on your hips. You can take those arms out to the side. So again, we're trying to stay really tall in your back as we articulate those hips. Good. Give me 4 more. 3, 2. Now we're gonna take the right leg out. We go out. We're gonna lift the knee up any amount. Lower it down. Bring it in. Take it to the other side. Out. Lift it. Try to balance. Lower. And we're not gonna do it that slow. Don't worry. Here we go. So we're gonna go out, march, lower, down. Out, march, lower, down. Out, march, lower. Out, march, lower, together. 2 more. Good. Last one. Up. Good. And hold here. Take your hands to the back of your head. If you can't get there, hands to the shoulders. We're gonna hinge forward at the hips. Deep folds, flat back, and then come all the way up. We're getting ready to stand. So I want you to hinge, feel the fold at your hips, feel the length of your spine, and then sit back up with a purpose. Yes, reaching forward. Good. And then come all the way back up to center. Let's do reaching forward again. This time I want you to see if your feet are in the right place to stand up easily. Mine are a little too far forward, so I'm gonna move them back. So put some weight into your feet. See if you can kind of lift yourself off the chair and then come back, and then we'll really do it. So hinge forward. We're gonna try to stand all the way up. Nice and tall. Now, the chair has not moved, but if you need to reach back and find it just to keep yourself nice and confident, then go for it, okay? So we're hinging forward, standing up. Arrive in your vertical position, lifted and grounded. Then hinge as you bend your knees, reach your hips back, and arrive at this vertical position. All right, so yeah, we're taking it kind of painstakingly slow. We're working through some mechanics that we often do fast, but it's all in the name of building a bit of endurance and strength. So we hinge, push through those feet to come all the way up. That's right. Hinge it down and lift it back to center. Let's go again. Hinge it forward. Press down to lift up. And hinge. And come back to center. Good. Couple more. Right. Good. Last one to come up and stand and stay. That's it. Open your arms out to the side. We're gonna bend our knees, wrap your left arm over your right, give yourself a hug, and you round your back just a little bit. Make sure you're not too far forward, your tail is tucked underneath. And then as we come up, you're gonna straighten your legs, open your arms out, lift your chest, and if it's possible, I don't know if it's possible for me today, rise up on the balls of those feet. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it, and here's why. I haven't been totally honest with you all. I think I broke my toe this morning. It's all wrapped up inside of this beautiful little shoe. My baby toe, a drawer fell out, like right on it. Yeah, so I'm not gonna rise, I forgot. I can lift, but weight bearing is not feeling great. So we'll round forward. You rise though. Just give yourself a hug, open it up, and if you wanna lift on your toes, lift on your toes. And then round forward again, bend your knees. Never a dull moment, you all. Reach it open and rise up, and then right arm over. Round it over. So this motion is not only a good kind of spinal mobility motion, left arm on top, but it's also actually one that's been proven to help calm your nervous system a bit. So there's some nice exercises that we do when we come into ourselves and then when we extend out to the sides, and they're all really great for just a sense of well-being. Rounding forward, reaching open, and let's do one more time. Good. And then coming all the way back to center. All right, take your hands on your hips. We're gonna march up and down, up and down. Try to get that knee to hip height, maybe belly button height if possible. Keeping the other leg straight. And I want you to think as we march, Marching is simple, but find that balance just for a second. Find it, push down to lift up. That's your mantra today. Just push down to lift up. Push down to lift up, yes. Good. Excellent. Let's go for 4. Now, as you're starting to get a little more confident in your marching, I want you to start thinking of your spine. Can you find that engagement, that lift, that strength on either side of your spine, those strong back muscles? When you give them tension from above and below, you start to engage the core connection. So as you're pushing down, feel it translate all the way up. Good, all the way up. Excellent. We go for 4. 3, 2, and 1, and stay. We're gonna take those arms up to your head or your shoulders again. As we march lifting the right, I want you to think of doing a little rotation towards the leg that's lifting. Shifting down, rotate, and lower. Press all the way down. Press all the way down. Remember, we're trying to arrive all the way down and lift all the way down and twist, all the way down and twist all the way down. One more time on each side. A little of that oblique integration. Last one. Good. And release. All right, let's come back to sit. Grab a drink if you need it. We're gonna come into a seated position with some dumbbells that you would do some bicep curls with. So I would say, yeah, I'm still smiling with my toe. I'm not. On the inside, I'm really angry about it, but it was one of those things where the drawer just broke. That's all it was. I pulled it out and the corner of it landed right on my baby toe. So I'm angry about it, but we're okay. We're gonna be fine. It actually doesn't hurt since it's all taped up, and I feel like I cushioned it enough, so it feels good. But you know, everything about the world of fitness says, be perfect and don't ever let them see you sweat. You know, I'm a human being, you know? I woke up with morning breath this morning too. I'm gonna sweat and I'm gonna break toes. It happens. So luckily I just found a new podiatrist, so she'll be thrilled to hear this news. Anyhow, all right, so you've got your dumbbells. We're gonna do palms facing forward again, seat perched on the edge. We're gonna do up for 2 and then down for 2, down for 2. Lift it and lower. All right, so we're here for about 45. I would deal with the timer, but I don't know that it's actually gonna work today, and I don't wanna get any more frustrated than I am. No, good. There's a couple of like really highly produced YouTube fitness folks that I get jealous of in terms of them having somebody in the room with them. I'm trying to do everything by remote control. Yes, good. All right, keep going. Lift it up and lower and up. Good, thank you, Tracy. And lower and up. Almost there. And lower and lift. Now, how's your whole torso doing? We got about 3 more. Are you feeling like you are effectively staying strong and long? Last one. Good. All the way down. All right. Go ahead and put those weights down for just a second. Grab my little remote over here so I can reset this for myself so I know where we are. There we go. So the next exercise we're gonna do is a forward bent over row. So you're gonna have your dumbbell in each hand. You're in a flat back. Be sure that we're not rounding out, just so that we really target our back. And we're gonna do the 2 count up and 2 count down. I want you to pull that dumbbell right to your hip, okay? All right, here we go. Boop, ready, steady, and hinge forward. We don't need you anymore. And then we're gonna come up to the hip and down. Now, I always think it's easy to get involved with your upper kind of shoulder girdle around your neck. I want you to really be focused on your mid back here. Think of those shoulder blades coming together. Good. Pull it up, lower down. Pull it up, lower down. The good news is it's just on the pinky and the tip of it. So I don't think it's a huge issue. What I'm thinking about is rebounding, as you know. I don't know, rebounding always makes me feel better, so a couple more. None of my physical team, doctors, therapists, they don't like my way of thinking. Last one. All the way down. Although, release, this podiatrist actually said, because I have a little, you all know my foot issue that's been going on for far too long. Well, clearly it's not a quick fix. Something else is going on. She thinks I have an entrapped nerve. So we're looking at that because it's fleeting. But anyways, it always feels better after rebounding. And she was like, I know you're not going to stop moving because it's your job and you like it, and I don't want you to end up depressed. I said, great, let's do something else. All right, I've got my 5 pounds. Enough time to rest for a moment. We're gonna do a front raise and then followed by a side raise. So as we go front, let's have your thumbs facing up, and then we're gonna lower down. And then we're gonna go to the side raise. Just make sure as you lift your arms out to the side, it's actually more of something that we call scaption, which is not exactly directly side and not front. It's more on the diagonal, the V. I really like scaption in the sense that it helps me drop my shoulders down. So if you can imagine being at like the state fair, banging on that like strong person thing where you bang really hard with the mallet and it goes ding up to the top and rings the bell. Anybody with me? Well, in scaption, I think of the shoulder blades are the mallet. They drop down, and then the dinger is my hands. Did I lose you? I feel like I lost myself there. All right, are we ready? We go in 3, 2, front and side. Here we go. We lift it up. We're doing that 2 count again. Thumbs face up on either side, out to the side. Good. Slight bend in your elbow, yeah? So you're really lifting from your shoulder, but not feeling a whole ton of stress in your elbow or your wrist. You want to feel your back set up the foundation so your arm can lift. Reach it out to the side. Good. And lift. Excellent. Pressing it out and lower down. Up. Almost there. Shoulders get tired pretty easy, so I hear you. Reach. Good. Out to the side. Let's do one more of each. Yes. All the way out. All right, good. Release. All right, we'll take those 5 pounds down to the side. And then we're gonna pick back up the ones you did bicep curls with. If you want a little light on the bicep curls and you want a little more weight, or if you went too heavy, take the lighter weight. Make a choice for yourself. Remember that hip hinge to stand. We're gonna do the same thing, but with the dumbbells. So hang them down by your side. We're gonna hinge forward. You wanna pour the weight forward into your feet with the actual dumbbells as well, without rounding out your back. So we're hinging, we're gonna stand up, and as we stand up, we're gonna curl. We're gonna change the facing, press it up, come all the way down, rotate, hinge at our hips as we lower those weights down, find the chair, and sit tall, okay? So we're gonna be here for about a full minute so we have enough time. No need to speed. Hinge forward, stand up, curl, rotate, overhead press. Tracy, if it's too much to go overhead, try the goalpost. Reach all the way down. Or just try to shoulder height. That might be helpful. Hinge forward, stand, bicep curl, press it up, pull it down, lower, all the way down. Good. My timing is working for you well. Stay with me. If you need a little faster, a little slower, full encouragement to do what you need to do to feel capable, safe, and good. Just like you've got this, right? We always want to work towards our edges, but I find that working towards the edges with confidence breeds confidence versus working towards the edges with panic breeds panic. So in a world full of panic, I say let's work on feeling more capable, not less. Last one. We went a little over a minute just to get a bit more engaged. All right, excellent. So this time, let's take up those smaller weights for our shoulders. We're gonna do a leg lift with the arm raise. So bring your arms down by your side, take your right heel out, and sit nice and tall. If the leg lift from a straight leg doesn't work, you can do it from a bent knee, and that should help. Or if that doesn't work, you can do it just a lifted heel. That's fine as well. But here it is. We're gonna lift the leg as we lift the arm. We're gonna lift the leg as we lift the arm. Okay? And your goal is not to collapse. So the lifts might not be very big at all, okay? And again, let's keep that thumbs up. I did the opposite on this one. All right, ready, set. We lift it up, and then we lower. We lift it up, and we lower. We lift it up. Good. It's gonna get hippy and leggy and backy and army really soon. Good. Last 10 seconds here. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Oh yeah. All right. Release. Shake it out. Bring the other one forward. We go in 3, 2, and 1. Lifting it up. And clearly the stronger side. Breathing as we go. Just concentrating on keeping that back supported. Almost there. One more of each. Good. Last one. And release. Very nice. All right, let's go ahead and take these fivers off to the side, or your smaller weight, and then we are going to do a row to a kickback for our final exercise with our weights. So we did that row. We're pulling in with those weights. Press back. As you're doing your kickback, don't let your elbow drop. So if your weights are really heavy here and you're not able to extend your arm, lighten them up, okay? We pull up, weights at the side. We kick back, we bend in, we lower down. Even these are gonna be a fun challenge for me, but such is life. All right, hinge forward. 3, 2, 1. Row, kick back, row, and release. If you need to do one arm at a time to give the other arm a little extra rest, go for it. That's an option. Dropping the weight and going a little lighter is an option. Going a little slower is an option. You got options. Reach. Woo. Major. Good. Almost there. Good. Last 5 seconds. 3, 2, last one. Woo! I felt that. All right, I'm gonna put these off to the side. Oh my goodness, not so easy on a ball. All right, I hope that, I mean, you get extra points today, Colleen, for that. Let's take our chairs out of the way. We're gonna come down onto our backs. I'm gonna put this one just a little bit farther off so I have a little extra room. Just super duper conscious of hitting things lately. All right, we'll put this away. Oh, we're right on time. It's so funny. I thought Today somehow I didn't have like a long list planned, and I was like, I don't think we're gonna make 30 minutes. Here we are. She always knows how to chat, and you gotta factor in our little recovery time. All right, we're down on our back. We're gonna start with our shoulders against the mat, and if it's possible to do a little goalpost arm here, go for it. If not, you can do a low V, a T with your arms. But the reason why I want goalpost as an option is because it helps you keep your back a little wider and more connected to the mat. So firstly, we're just gonna let our knees drop as far as they can over to one side. And if you're going to the left, we're gonna think about your right shoulder blades staying connected to the mat itself. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, think of pulling the back of your waistline to connect with the mat. So reaching it to make contact with the mat. And then we'll go to the other side. Reach those legs over. Keep your opposite shoulder blade heavy to the mat. Take your breath and then send it all the way down. Good. And we're gonna go to the other side. And then send the waist down. So my whole focus right now is on letting my lower back mobilize with support while keeping my upper back supportive and maybe stable, kind of still. Pull it all the way down. Good. All right, let's go one more in each direction. Using that breath, remember all that good breath work we did at the beginning of class. And no worries if you came late, just breathe, that's all it is. We did a lot of breathing. Good, and all the way back to center. All right, so from here, we're going to take our arms down to a low V if you're not there already, and then bring your legs into tabletop, and just take a moment to connect to that waist landmark. So I always think of like my low, middle, high waist. So 90s jeans, 80s, and 70s all at once. All right, knees over hips. We're going to keep our legs together, and this time rotate your pelvis in one direction, keep the other shoulder blade connected to the mat, and then send it back to center. We'll go in the other direction. Rotate. I like an exhale to reconnect. Only go as far as you can feel the opposite shoulder pressing down, and then bring your waist back against the mat. And I'm thinking again of the back side of my body. So I release this and then I'm pulling it back to get back to the mat. One more time each side. Good, bringing it all the way in. And last one. And bringing it all the way in and lower down, release, good. Yeah, and so that's pretty common to feel your back elevating off of the mat. So if you felt that, just let it rest for a moment. And then we're gonna go into a little bit of a bridging exercise. So let's roll through the spine, rolling backwards towards our waistline, pressing down through the hips, and then rolling up until you're at the top of your bridge. Shoulders wide, you can have your arms down in that T or the V. And then as you roll down, think of your heart sinking through the center of your body to reach down through your rib cage, through your middle back, through your upper back, and then all the way out to the tail. So I want you to think about rolling through each bone of the spine. And actually, I have a meeting with somebody who's developed this super cool product that helps with spinal articulation. And I'm very excited to try it out. All right, lift it up. And then we're gonna roll down through one bone at a time. I think, have I lost you? I think I still have you. Let's do a couple more of those. Good. Rolling all the way up. I don't think I lost you, but I lost some music, so that's all right. We'll bring it back in. It happens. It happens. And this is still on. Clean the set. All right. Almost done, everybody. So finish up your last roll all the way up, and then rolling through the spine. good. And we're gonna do one more little reset. So last Thursday we did a little rotation of the pelvis. Today we're gonna do a side glide. And I think I have a generation that understands the working parts of a typewriter. It's not always the case, but we're gonna think of our pelvis like the carriage of a typewriter, sliding back and forth in a horizontal line, not in a wavy line. So here's what we do. We press our hips all the way up, we find our end range, and then we're gonna drop out of that end range like maybe an inch or two, just so that we're not forcing it up there. Arms down by the side, and then your knees stay where they are. They don't windshield wipe. Your hips slide as far as they can to one side, and then they slide back to the other. So just try that a couple times. Often what we feel is that there is an easier direction and a harder direction. So you slide in one direction, it's like, woo, I could do that for days. You slide in the other, and you're like, oh, not so much. So just notice those things. Don't try to force it or fix it. Just notice it. And then after you've completed about 8 or so, we're gonna come back to the center, drop down maybe another inch, and then do it again. So you're a little closer to the mat, but not quite. Just trying to slide. You can peek too. Sometimes it's hard to isolate the hip movement from the leg movement, but just trying to get it all happening from your pelvis. Let's finish up our last one here. Come back to the center, drop down until just the bottom of your seat is just grazing the mat. So you're not resting, but you can feel the mat, and then just slide it across the mat, slide it across the mat, slide it across the mat. Try to keep both cheeks touching and sliding. You'll notice where and if you're rotating, if you use the feedback of the mat. Good. All right, come back to center. Curl your tail under and then roll out through the spine. And just rest for a second. We're gonna do that one more time, a little bit quicker. So when we're ready, let's come up to the top, back out of your top range maybe an inch or so, and start to go side to side. If it feels like you can go faster this time, just let it ride. You don't have to speed it up, but sometimes your ease will happen as things start to unlock and open up. Good. After you've done about 8 to 10, come back to center, drop it down another inch, go again. And then come back to center, drop it down, graze the mat, and go for your last 8 to 10. There we go. Good. Come back to center, curl your tail under, roll all the way down, and then our final act will be to roll all the way up through your bridge. Hopefully that feels really good on the roll up, and then roll all the way down. And then just check your twist. Take your knees to one side. Maybe that feels really good. We're just at the end of our time, but if you want to spend a little more time on your mat, taking a little more stretch, go for it. Otherwise, rock yourself up. I don't want it to stop. I know. Me neither. I was thinking the same thing. I have a client that I must see, but I appreciate that. I don't want it to stop either. But just remember, a couple more weeks and then we get into the big time with, we'll be spending a lot more time on the goodness on Thursdays. Wednesdays we'll be doing a little more work to balance it all out. So don't forget that the sticker literally never works when I want it to work. There it is. Don't forget to account why the moves matter to your life today. You know, sometimes the schedule pops up and I have set it so far in advance that I don't realize, I don't remember what's there. But when I see it, it's like, makes me feel like I made an effort to take care of future me in the past when I made the schedule. So it always is good to hear that you are also feeling good at the end of class. So be sure to come back and repeat it and tell your friends and support the channel and do all the things that you're doing. Thank you for my live streamers. You're amazing. I love being with you every week. We tell everybody about you, not your names and things, but that I work with this awesome group of people who I've never met before, and I think that's pretty darn cool. I think it's amazing. And yeah, hang in there. Have a great weekend. I'll see you back on Monday. Fingers and toes crossed for all the reasons. And thank you for being here.
Thank you.